Hello, everyone. My name is Laura Anderson, and I am honored to present the proposed budget for the 2026 fiscal year for the Northland Library. Today, I will share how our financial plan for the upcoming year supports our mission, builds on past successes, and reallocates funds to higher priority areas. To begin our discussion, I thought it best to reiterate the Northland Library's mission statement, which is to connect with our community through learning, access, and curiosity. As you review this proposed budget, you will see every shift, reallocation, and change is directly aligned with fulfilling this mission. Even though we are all looking forward to the new year and the exciting things that will come with it, let's take a brief look at all we accomplished in the library in 2025. First and foremost, we reestablished our facility rentals, generating around $10,000 in revenue. Then we refocused on the cafe, increasing our revenues from around $500 to $2,000. Then we expanded our digital collection to include remote and online resources to focus on community access to technology. And then we continued our focus and provided to the community through the Entrepreneur Center. These accomplishments have set us up for success for 2026. So, thinking ahead to 2026 and how those previous accomplishments have aided us moving forward, we are focusing this proposed budget on three areas. Number one, efficient staffing by expanding patron-facing coverage on the floor while maintaining sustainable compensation and benefits. Number two, modernization. Investing in a major upgrade to our integrated library system cataloging platform and allocating more funds for digital materials to modernize our collection. Number three, community impact, delivering high value programming to patrons overall, but giving major increases to programming for our retirees, teens, and youth science programs. With the focus areas in mind, it is helpful to see the historical data on what our budget looks like in the past and how we could, in addition to our priorities listed on the previous slide, improve the overall financial health of the library. For 2026, we project total revenues of $1,056,000 against total operating expenses of $1,042,300, which will generate an operational surplus of $13,700. With this surplus, we will allocate it back to our fund balance, bringing it from $37,510 back up to $51,210, a 36.5% increase, which is great. To maintain this, as you can see, we are not transferring any funds out to the capital fund in 2026 to ensure our general operational baseline stays financially healthy. Now, how are we going to achieve all of this in 2026? When we sat down to list our goals and objectives for the new year, we decided to focus on those same three areas and one more: community, modernization, increased revenue, and more efficient staffing. So, for community, we are undergoing a major programming budget increase for a combined total of 204% from 2025. We are also reinstating the rental facilities and the cafe to cultivate a more community-based usability of the library and our services. We are refocusing on the cafe and the rental facilities, while a nice added source of revenue that we will speak on later. But we're doing this because it is our mission to connect with our community, letting the community know that our library is a multi-use space that anyone can use and meet and spend time in. Then modernization. We are increasing the technology budget by $4,300 for a complete ILS system upgrade and much needed maintenance. We are also increasing the digital resources budget line by 5.9% while decreasing the physical print, audio, and visual resources budget line by a combined 54% to provide a more modern version of our materials. We are thinking of it less as a reduction and more as an enhancement of materials based on community needs. This is a decrease in allocated funds, not a decrease in materials. This shift is based on user data from our patrons. We are seeing a great demand for digital access to many resources and materials that we offer throughout the library. While demand for digital products increases, circulation data for our print and physical materials shows a decline in use. Because of this, we felt it best to focus more funds on digital products. Then increased revenue. We are increasing our overall revenue sources by $24,000. While the rental facility and cafe are helping us to cultivate community spaces within our library, they are also bringing in much needed extra revenue to help the library achieve its goals. Then, efficient staffing. We are restructuring our focus on staffing by decreasing our budget line for professionals by 7.9% and increasing our paraprofessional budget line by 11.11%. This will give us more spending power to hire staff for the public-facing side of the library. This shows a focus on patron-facing positions that help create a welcoming experience for our patrons. This change is due to surveys we have sent out to our patrons showing a concern with available librarians on the floor. Because of this, patrons have left the library dissatisfied with the lack of service they were able to get. With increased funding for paraprofessionals, we are looking to solve this issue with more staff who can assist with patrons, reference work, front desk coverage, and community outreach. So, to switch now to our breakdown of revenue sources for the library, as stated previously, we project a total revenue of $1,056,000. Within that amount, our largest revenue source remains our property tax base, making up 92.3% of our total revenue. We then go down from there with our facilities rental, which we more than doubled from 2025 at 2.2%. Our Library Services and Technology Act federal grant at 1.7%. Donations at 1.4%. Other grants that we have applied for and received at 1.2%. Fines and copying fees, which have been trending down at 0.8%, and the cafe, another area we are doubling, our shared project space at 0.4%. To break down our expenses in a similar fashion, our total projected expenses are $1,042,300. Salaries and benefits remain as the top expense for the library at 71% of our spending. Moving then to administrative and operational costs at 11.8%, facilities and maintenance at 8.8%, collections and materials at 5.6%, and then programming at 0.6% of that total expense number. So, to specifically show our programming budget increases and our commitment to maintaining our mission to focus on our community, in 2026, we are proposing the following budget increases to every demographic we provide programming for. For our adults, we have increased the budget by 9.4%. For our children and teens, we have increased it by 50%. And our retirees, we've doubled it. We're increasing it by 100%. And then our Children's Discovery Science Garden, we're increasing it by 45.5% to promote our quest for curiosity. Additionally, our Entrepreneur Center line item remains funded with a slight increase of 0.5% from 2025 to help local entrepreneurs access those online databases and much needed materials. In conclusion, we feel our 2026 proposed budget aligns with our library mission of connecting with our community through learning, access, and curiosity with the focus on community building and an increased revenue through the rental facility and the cafe, modernization through our ILS system upgrade, and a focus on digital resources and a more efficient use of staffing to better equip our library with staff members who create a warm and welcoming environment for our patrons. I thank you so much for your time and dedication to the Northland Library. If you have any questions at all, feel free to ask them now or email me at a later date. And I hope you all have a lovely afternoon. Thank you so much.